Hi, my name is Jordan, and I'm here to explain. The question I'm sure is all on your minds: what the fuck is the Lords of Parody? It all begins in a school called Art Check. It was a school that I attended. It is still around. A school I attended in in middle school. It was my middle school. It is also a high school, but I'll get to that later. Anyway, so I began middle school at Art Tech in 6th grade, and I loved movies. In fact, I loved them so much, I wanted to write a script. It was called James Blonde. It was like a parody of James Bond, which I so much enjoyed. But it was my own version. So, I decided I was going to write a script called James Blonde and present it with a parody group. So, I created this parody group with 4 of my friends that we were going to make James Blonde with. But first, one of my friends presented me with a script called Ma, which was a parody of the movie Saw. A great horror movie which you should all check out if you have a good appetite. So, Ma was the first film we presented, and that was presented in 2008, and we presented that. The next film I wrote was James Blonde, and that one was, in comparison to Ma, which was about 4 pages, James Blonde was 10. This was a particularly long script, and all of my friends were like, Jesus Christ, do we really have to memorize all of this shit? So, I said, yes, you have to memorize all of this shit. Of course, they didn't, because we're middle schoolers. Honestly, we don't really do stuff. So, I kind of half-assed the movie, and we were able to make it through. So, that was James Blonde. The next year, we came up with a movie called Jomeo and Juliet, or I don't know, Jomeo and Juliet, I think, and that was written by a female member of the group. That was one of 2 scripts that she wrote, and we created that and presented it, and it was subpar, and it was able to finally have some actual soundtrack rather than just kind of throwing in music as we went along that ended up being louder than the actual dialogue and yada yada yada. But the next script after that was a script called Robin Hat, which was a parody of Robin Hood. You notice these are all parodies, and none of them have original stories. Anyway, so we present Robin Hat, and I decide, hey, I want to make James Blonde too. I did this about in the summer, and I wrote the script James Blonde 2. This was about twice as long as the James Blonde script. Now, of course, when people heard that there was a 20-page script, everybody was like, Jesus Christ, Jordan, please stop the madness. So I'm like, okay, you can kind of memorize it, and we'll improv some of it. So we tried that. It failed. We had half of a story, and we had half of a movie, and we ended up making about half of James Blonde 2. So, after that, we decided to abandon that shitstorm and decide to do The Merlinator, which I also wrote. It was a movie that was 20 pages, rather than about the 17 I wrote for James Blonde. The Merlinator was almost complete, but we decided to release just the first part, because the second part was partially filmed, and the parts of the Merlinator that were kind of filmed, but not really, were really shitty. And so the only real good part was this little goofy thing that we didn't actually write. We found it online. So we just presented The Merlinator Part 1. And it was great. It was the best project we did, which is not saying much, because honestly, some of the stuff that Michael Bay has written was better than the stuff that came out of middle school me. So, that is the Lords of Parody. If you want to check out our videos, go ahead, but know that you'll probably be shaking your head saying, oh God, why the hell did I do that? Oh, it's my friend. Hi, friend. No, I know you're not actually there. That's okay. I love you.